I'll take that bet. I don't know. I tried. Marker. He's All That review, guys. Let's get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. They remade it. Let's go. But with a twist. Action. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? I'm Ryan, DHL Ryan680.
I'm Angela at that cat Eddie Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk. Movie Talk for movie fans, guys. You bring the movie world right into your ears, devices. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Let's get right to it. This is our review of He's All That. A reboot / from the original cut, She's All That. And Angela, first off, we're going to go out and say, I enjoyed She's All That, the original. It's cheesy, hella cheesy as hell, but that's why I loved it. And I love me some Freddie Prinze Jr. I know how that sounds. I love his movies, man. It's just Freddie Prinze Jr. to me in the 90s films that he's done in the early 2000s, and even I Know What You Did Last Summer. All those movies, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Just all those movies. Granted, they're stupid. But I feel like She's All That was such a good, really good film. Take it as you will. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I love, and I'm a sucker for rom-coms. That's the thing is, if you do not know, guys, I'm a sucker for rom-coms, and I love everything rom-com. I really do. It's just there's certain movies that I love way more, and Angela doesn't even love that at all, or just very, very little.
So right? I really like some cult classics like Mean Girls and Freaky Friday and all that stuff, but I'm not into the whole rom-com situation. But I did enjoy She's All That. I really enjoyed it. Freddie Prinze Jr. was great. So I really like all the cast on there. So I was pretty interested to see how they were going to reboot He's All That. Yeah. So it's still the same setting, high school.
Exactly. So
kids making this bet.
Yeah, so guys, just if you do not know, He's All That is actually on Netflix as we're currently talking. It's about a teenage girl sets out to give a classmate an ultimate high school makeover, an updated remake of the 1999. It's pretty much an update / reboot. Because let's be honest here, it feels like a reboot.
It really does. But they made it modern to where it makes sense. Yeah. Because
they modernized the story. They really did.
Yeah, in the original version with Freddie Prinze Jr., it was all about this machismo thing. I could do it. I'm the top guy on the. I'm the more popular guy on the thing. I can do it. Yeah. But
football,
right?
No social media, by the way. No social media.
But they're heavily focusing on social media followers, which is something that I feel like the young people now, it's a thing.
It's the hashtags, right? Just like we're doing right now. It's just the hashtags.
Popularity, likes, followers, subscribing. And people, it is true. People get sponsorship from being influencers online. And that's a thing. Yep. So, I really like that spin on this version. It makes sense. Yeah. So I was really intrigued to the direction they were going to go, but it's surprisingly, even though it's modern and updated, pretty similar to the plot of the original one. They didn't deviate as far as made the main story.
So I think that's going to really hurt the film in a way, because it's these movies are already done with over and over and over and over. The popular person comes out. Typically it's the high school guy, but this one's very different. It's the high school girl, and it's just these people are taking on these different, and it's funny too, because they're playing high school kids when they're not, they're a lot older. Bit older.
But I gotta admit,
Freddie Prinze Jr., he wasn't really high school level either, but
but you gotta admit, at least these kids.
They look more
more like high school children than Freddie Prinze Jr. did, than Paul Walker did, than a lot of the cast in the originals. But a lot of the shows at the time, it didn't matter. A lot of them didn't matter. Sinking. So I know you love One Tree Hill, where they're in high school,
but they're obviously
not, and they look like they're not. So again, I like that. Definitely, this new rebooted film, the cast looks a little bit more age appropriate.
Yeah. So again, it's a woman's side of view. So we see there's a lot of elements in this movie where we see a lot of the woman's side of just of cyberbullying. We see a little bit of that, touches up a little bit on that. And we also see a lot of just comment bullying, really I would say comment abusing when it comes to like certain people, because I mean, let's be honest here, now that you put everything on social media just like we're doing right now, it just comments everything. It could be good or bad.
It's all about followers, and it's all about the perception of how you want to see it
and they
seen online.
And they do touch up on that, which I did love about this. At the very end of this film, ladies and gentlemen, they actually do touch up on the social media aspect of your character. Like, you as yourself as of right now is totally different with what you've put on film and what you put on, and they do touch up on that. They really do, and I love that about this movie, because I feel like we just like us, we get caught up in the moments, and it's beautiful moments. It's just typically you just get lost along the way, and it's just like, oh, you look at their Instagram, and it's funny too because in the movie they're looking at their Instagrams. It's like, okay, let's judge this person.
It's definitely
it's real.
It's because I feel like that's how that's definitely, social media is more of an influence on, I guess, today than it was when we were in high school. I know, like, we were all about MySpace and Facebook at the time, and I feel like it's progressed way more than that now for high schoolers now than 10 years ago when we were in high school. So I feel like I like that we saw that, and then I also like how they make jabs at it. The older generation makes jabs at it, like, oh, why are you on your phone live streaming when you could be looking at it with your own eyes? And I feel like that's something we would say.
And it's funny too, because they do mention a lot of dad jokes in here. I do want to mention
a lot of dad jokes.
They mention a lot of dad jokes, which is great because we get it, we understand,
we get it,
and we love it. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of film. We love it. So this is actually directed by Mark Waters, which is funny that you should mention Freaky Friday, because he made Freaky Friday. What did you thought about that? He directed the film Freaky Friday. He directed one of my favorite guy movies. One of my favorite guy movies is going to be with Matthew McConaughey, Ghost of Girlfriend's Past. Okay, I love that movie. I don't know why. Hate me, guys. I'm sorry. It's probably a terrible movie from other critics. It's probably been hated on. I haven't looked it up. It's probably hated on critics. I love this movie so much. And yeah, so I mean, he's really done a lot of these different kind of directed films where it's a rom-coms, where it's like, oh, I finally found the love of my life or something, or just those situations there. He did direct Mean Girls, which is funny, and it's funny though because we get speaking of that, the age gap. Rachel McAdams played a high school girl. I mean, can we not acknowledge that?
So Rachel McAdams, love her. She's great, versatile. Awesome, beautiful, great actress, but I just love her take on the quintessential bully high school chick that's popular and mean. Love it. Love all of those movies. But I really surprisingly enjoyed this film. I enjoyed this reboot. I enjoyed the way it went. It was very similar to the original one with Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yes.
Very similar. It had its updated moments, but I gotta say I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the cast. I think I loved the main character. I believe Addison Rae. Loved her. Ray,
this is her first actual film of doing, really, and she's come out of the supporting roles, but this is her first lead role in a movie.
Love her. She was great.
And it's not terrible. It's not. It's just. I feel like this has to do with the script. I feel like the word choice was just. It just felt like too cliche. It just felt too first grader words. No. I mean, okay. So that's the thing. It's just there's certain things to where like it could be a good cheesy movie, just like She's All That's a good cheesy movie. Hate on Me Is What You Want. People probably hate on it and be like, what the you call that cheesy movie? It's fine. I loved it. In my personal opinion, I did love it. It's one of my good classic cheesy 90s films, just like Breakfast Club and just like all those other movies. Those are just cheesy films. But Breakfast Club is another story. But before we go off topic again, like I just did,
how did you feel about Tanner Buchanan? I haven't seen him. I didn't watch.
Cobra Kai. Yeah, so he's from Cobra Kai. He is a coming of age actor, and he's doing a lot of streaming stuff, obviously, because with Cobra Kai, Netflix. There's a lot of roles that I really want to see him progress. He's coming out to be, he's done a lot of TV or a lot of streaming movies. And streaming TV shows. What I really want for him and his agent to really focus is to actually do a dramatic role for him. I feel like a dramatic role is going to really elevate his acting skills, and he has potential to be a great actor. I mean, he has the potential to win an Oscar. He's coming from a show that's so popular like Cobra Kai, and we've seen his acting skills right here. And you know, Tanner, he really comes in and he just changes it up a little bit. You know, he twists it up a little bit. It kind of made sense. Again, it wasn't him. I would say it's more the script, or more that it was directed. It was just too cliche. It's just way too predictable of a movie. Way too predictable. And I hate that about it. So, is it better the original than She's All That? I'm gonna say no. Honestly, no.
I gotta say it's equal for me, because the only reason why it was predictable was because, again, the plot was the same. Very the same.
Pretty much the same.
Down to the same, pretty much, actors, like the friend who's not a friend, and, you know... Yeah. Pretty much everything is the same. So when you say predictable, I excuse that, because the plot's the same. It's just updated. But I enjoyed the actors, and I enjoyed the updates that it had. I enjoyed all of that, and it was overall pleasant, and I liked it. So I would say, for me, I think it's a little bit more equal in terms of the original and this one.
To be honest, what I wanted in this movie, and we'll talk about it. So this is the fun that we needed, Angela.
Sure, why not? I mean, they did it with American Pie, right?
Yeah, that was a twist. That was a twist. I'm gonna say okay, fine, because of Tanner and the two leads. Really, was this the fun that we deserved? No, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no, politely no.
For what reasons?
Because I wanted it to be a different story. I wanted it to be a sequel from the original,
but then
I wanted it to be Freddie Prinze Jr.'s kids going to high school and be like, all right, guys, I'm taking you to high school. And then he's all like, yeah, you're popular. And then maybe the kid's lying to the dad and be like, oh, just hire me, Netflix. The kid's lying to the dad. And the dad's all like, I thought you're popular. No, I'm the loser or whatever. And then he finds a girl who's popular. And then it becomes like that. I'll take the bet or whatever. It's just, I feel like that could have been they could have capitalized on it.
You are only saying that because you want to see Freddie Prinze Jr. again.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
So I think it is because, again, I liked seeing the message of like social media, and there's more to it, and you know,
the opening of this film. The opening of this film, I did not like. I did not like it, which is a real bummer, because usually for the opening film, I always get. I mean, that's the thing that's going to get you going, you know, like get you to start off. It just wasn't. It wasn't going for me. Maybe because it was just too real and too annoying. How like it was all like hashtags viral hashtags.
Oh, so it's something you do.
Yeah, it was a little different, little escalated, a little elevated, a little too much. But. Yeah, definitely a different tone. There's a few. So the dancing in this movie, guys, we're not going to mention it, of course. The dancing in this movie is very weird.
It was definitely strange that they put that in there.
It's too different, and it's not a normal dance. We'll say that. It's not like a normal prom dance. They change it up a bit, I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
That whole scene with the dance portion at the prom, that was definitely an interesting addition. I personally didn't like it. I thought it was just a little too unreal. Yeah. Like the whole social media things, that's believable. But I just feel like, unless, like I said, we've been out of touch. We haven't been in high school in 10 years.
About 10 years.
Yeah, this year would be our 10-year reunion. So you could be out of touch, but it just didn't seem believable in my opinion. It was a little bit strange that they would add that. But for effects, sure, why not? Yeah. But I get what you're saying with that scene. It was a little strange.
Yeah.
But overall, though, I liked it. I mean, I think it was the film we deserved because of the overall message of social media and, you know, just enjoy life and, you know, don't get caught, like you say, too caught up in trying to present yourself in a certain way to strangers in the public versus enjoying the moment you have.
For sure. So we actually to get 2 cameos in here. We're not going to mention it because we want you to watch it. I'm pretty sure if you have not watched it already, that's why you're watching this review, right? There's 2 cameos in here, and I wish there could have been more. I feel like that they could have been like, I could have thrown so many ideas out there to this movie, being like, oh, we crashed it. We thought it was our high school reunion where they all try to get as much cast as they can. Because I don't know. I love it when movies do that. Where it shows so much history and so much growth from it. But yeah, I love that about this movie. But yeah, ratings 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest.
I would give it a 6.5.
6.5.
That's a bit above average. I enjoyed it. I would watch.
I'm gonna give it a solid 6 as well. I'm gonna give it a solid 6. I'm gonna give it above average. I really did love it. The dad jokes. This is a true remake that is not. It's an average remake that's not terrible. This film really feels like a not what we need. Charming. I would say it's very charming. It's not terrible film. It's a very charming movie. So I'll say that as well. But any final thoughts, Angela? Anything like?
I would say if you're into the whole rom-com things, high school movies, or that genre,
it's a refresh of a film.
I would definitely give it a try. I mean, it might surprise you. Maybe you loved it more than the original. Maybe you're just like, Netflix, why would you put this out? This is garbage.
This is garbage.
So tell us what you think in the comments below.
But let us know in the comments down below, guys, if you did love this movie or if you did not, you hated it, and do you recommend this movie? I'm gonna say no, man. I know this is a weird rating because I'm giving it a little above average. I'm gonna say no because it's not enough for me to recommend.
I disagree. I would recommend it if you're open.
Okay, we're half. She says yes. I say no. I apologize. I just stick to the. That's the thing about remakes. That's the beauty of remakes. Is that remakes? If the remake sucks, you have the original and vice versa. Mm-hmm. If the remake's better, then it's vice. And that's the debate. It's always been the debate with Freddy Krueger, with all these new remakes. It's always been the debate of that. And I tell you, if you do not like the remake, you still have the original. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying. But yeah. All right, guys. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. You like our review, guys. Have yourself a wonderful day. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
I'm Angela at that cat lady Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Once again, hit that subscribe button. Stay safe, San Antonio. Catch y'all later. Peace.